Hello, welcome to Raising Readers with Miss Joanne here at the Metuchen Library. Raising Readers is a program with a read aloud for the little ones and expert advice for the caregivers on how to help your child learn to love to read. Let's get started. I have a hello song to start us off. Well, hello everybody, yes indeed, yes indeed, yes indeed. Well, hello everybody, yes indeed, yes indeed, my darling. Today I'd like to highlight the importance of sharing your favorites from when of books that is with your children now from when you were a child. When I was little, one of my very favorite stories was, can you guess by looking at this bear? Yes, the story of Corduroy. This book was written by Don Freeman. I'd like to share my favorite book with you from my childhood with you today, Corduroy. It's important to share with your little ones what you remember about this book and why you loved it so much. Then when you share it with them, you can see if it holds the test of time. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then one morning a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator, and up he went. Could this be a mountain, he wondered. I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there, before his eyes, was a most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace." He wandered around, admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once, he saw something small and round. "Why, here's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. He yanked and pulled with both paws until, pop, off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Yikes! Corduroy didn't know it, But there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. Now, who in the world did that? He exclaimed. Somebody must be hiding around here. He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all. And there he saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. This is my favorite picture in the story. I think it's so cute how just the ears are sticking up. Hello, he said. How did you get upstairs? I don't think Corduroy is so sure how he got upstairs either. The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. I'm Lisa, she said, and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home. Shall I put him in a box for you? The saleslady asked. Oh, no, thank you, Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. This must be home, he said. I know I've always wanted a home. Doesn't her room look beautifully cozy and inviting? Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. I like the way you are, she said, but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened. You must be a friend, said Corduroy. I've always wanted a friend. Me too, said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. I hope you enjoyed the story of Corduroy. When I was a little girl reading that story, the department store scenes I found magical. How the department store looked at night when no one was there was very surprising and interesting for me as a child. I also loved the idea of Bear being alive and walking around in the department store and going up that escalator and trying the beds looking for his lost button. I wonder what were your favorite parts in that story and did you enjoy it? I certainly hope so. It's important to share our childhood favorites as caregivers with our little ones. Not only are we sharing the importance of reading, you're setting by example how much you loved books when you were little and sharing a part of yourself. That book, if it's a favorite of yours from when you were younger, then you're sharing a part of yourself with your little ones by sharing it with them. And that is certainly time well spent. Forming a bond and between the two of you and a bond by sharing a book together. Another one of my very favorite stories from my childhood is The Carrot Seed by Ruth Krauss. Pictures by Crockett Johnson. You may know this book. It's quite well known. We have both of these books here at the library. If you'd like to check them out, you can pick them up curbside pickup, or you may now come in to the Metuchen Library for browse and go services. So you may come in and you may browse and go for up to 20 minutes here in our library and check out books. I hope you enjoyed Raising Readers. Thank you for joining me today. See you next time. Bye bye.